Okay, kiddos, today for math, we are going to do an activity that may not seem like math, but it is using geometric shapes and explaining how those things might move. All right, so um, let me give you just a quick explanation. Okay, so we're talking about three different ways that a shape could move. Okay, so one is a slide, one is a turn, and one is a flip. Now here I've put the technical mathematical vocabulary. This you won't be responsible for in third grade, but I want you at least to be somewhat familiar with it because you'll probably see it again, and as you get older you'll be using these technical terms instead of the simple terms. But we do have the simple terms just so that you're getting the idea of what it is. Okay, so a slide is when you have a shape and you move it over. Okay, that's a slide. Now you could move it up, you could move it down, you could move it diagonally, whatever your movement to a new location is, that is called a slide. And the math term for that is called a translation. So it's not turning over, it's just changing its location side to side, up and down, diagonally. That is called a slide. It doesn't have to be a triangle, it can be any shape at all, okay? All right, and then a turn is when we simply rotate it. So if you think of like the hands on a clock, they turn around, okay, so they rotate. So a turn is like, look, the arrow is pointing up, and then we turn it, rotate it so that it turns to the side. Same with a rectangle, it's standing upright, and we rotate it, we turn it. So this is the movement of a turn or rotation. So it's vertical, and then it just turns to horizontal. Or we could start with horizontal, and it turns to vertical. Okay, so remember, a slide is moving its location, and a turn is rotating it in one direction or another. Okay, that is a turn. The last one is a flip. Okay, and the technical term for that is reflection. It's kind of like when you look in a mirror. Okay, you're looking at the opposite side, right? When I'm looking at my screen right now, what I'm holding up, everything is backwards because it's a reflection, okay? You're seeing it correctly. All right, so here is a flip. It's when we have the front side of something and we flip it over to the back side, okay? So again, a flip is moving from the front to the back, all right? That is called a reflection. Okay, so we are going to do a little bit more practice with this. You have a brain pop to watch as well, and that's just to get a little bit more exercise with sliding, flipping, and turning to get you really familiar with that. Okay, so let's move on to our workbook page, and we'll go through that really quickly together. The front side anyway, and the back side you will do on your own. Okay, so at the top of page 261, you can see the different terms. We have slide, so the dotted line means first it was this and then it was this, okay? So we haven't really changed anything except its location, okay? Here we have a flip. We see the front side of the book. Now we see the back side of the book. So remember it was flipped front to back, okay? And then the turn. It was vertical, and now it's horizontal. So it'd be like this to this. That's a turn. Okay, so let's take a look at number 1. And that's identical to this picture up here, right? So the location moved, but not the position of the shape. So that we would call a slide. Okay, and number 2. Okay, so now we have a triangle with the dot at the top. Now we see that the dot is pointing to the side. So this was it a slide, a flip, or a turn? If you said flip, I'm sorry, if you said turn, you are correct. I'm so sorry. All right, and then number 3, we see that we have a circle with a star on it, and then this is showing that this is the back side of it. It doesn't have a star on it anymore. So what is that? If we pick it up and turn it to the back, that is called a flip. Okay. Okay, number 4, you can see that we have a square with the star in the corner, and over here there's no star, so that must mean this is the back side of it. So if this is the front to the back, what do we call that? A flip. Okay. Okay, let's look at the arrows. We've got an arrow pointing up, and now it's pointing sideways. So what happened? Did we slide it? Did we flip it? Or did we turn it? Yeah, we just turned it. It was like vertical, and then it's pointing sideways. So that would be a turn. So we're going to write turn. Okay. Number 6, we have a piece of bread with jelly on it. Uh-oh, this doesn't have any jelly on it. So what do you think they did with the bread? Yeah, they picked it up and turned it to the back, right? So that is slide, flip, or turn. Hope you said flip, because flip is correct. Okay, then for number 7, we have the ice cream cone, okay? It looked like it was upright, and now it's upside down. Now, it wasn't front to back, was it? So think about that. Did it slide, did it flip, or did it turn? Right, it just did a turn. It went from right side up to upside down, and that's called a turn. Okay, now we have a taco, and we see an identical taco just in a new position, and so that would be a slide. It didn't turn, it didn't flip, it just scooted to a new position, so that is a slide. Okay, here for number 9, this is something we haven't worked on for a while, but it is finding area. I know we've worked recently with perimeter again, but remember, perimeter is the distance around, and the area is the space within, right? It's counting all those square units within, but we have a shortcut. We don't need to count each of these squares, right? There's a simple multiplication that we can do. Do you remember what that is? Okay, let's read the question. Mom is laying 1-foot carpet squares in the dining room. So this is representing the 1-foot carpet squares in the dining room. The floor is 10 feet long and 8 feet wide. Okay, so we can see we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 going this way and 2, 4, 6, 8 going this way. Okay, so I can say this is 10 feet long and this is 8 feet wide. Okay, and then the simple mathematic equation we can use to figure that out is to do the length times the width equals the area. Okay, so what are we multiplying here? Right, we're multiplying 10 times 8 equals, you better know that, 80, right? Okay, so we're going to write 10 times 8, and the area is 80. And so we want to write the area of the floor, the area of the floor is 80 square feet, because remember our units are always square when we're talking about area. Okay, so on the back side, you are going to review similar and congruent for this top part. Okay, similar and congruent. If you don't remember what those terms are, maybe you should look in your math journal. Let's see if I've got my math journal. I'll give you a little clue here. Okay, so remember, congruent figures have the same size and shape, and similar shapes have the same shape but not the same size. Remember that? Congruent is kind of another way of saying equals when we're talking about geometric shapes. Okay, similar means it's almost alike. It's got the same shape, but it doesn't have the same size. Okay, so you're going to determine similar or congruent for all of these. And then down here, for number 5 through 10, you are going to decide if it's a slide, a flip, or a turn. Okay, so you can always go back to the front, take a look at these pictures if you've forgotten, and just try to get really familiar with using those terms, okay? So the brain pop should help on that also. And then we've got some basic multiplication for you, okay? That's good practice for you too. I'm also going to give you some IXL multiplication assignments as well, because this is pretty quick and easy today. All right, we'll see you later.